All right, Shalom. First and foremost, we like to give all honor and glory and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to all the Akim out there teaching and preaching this truth with 144% sincerity, to the men, women, and children listen, learning, and to the Bayashid Dabadat, the house of David. We are the Hebrew Israelites, men of valid Las Vegas camp. All right, this is not our normal camp day, but the Spirit jumped on us to make sure we came out today and just bring out this word. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Oh, Josh.
This is the book of Joshua, chapter 24, verse 15. And if it seem evil unto you to serve the Lord, choose you this day whom you will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood, or the gods of the Amorites, in whose land ye dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord.
God. So choose ye this day, all right, which power you will serve. All right, and we serve Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, the true living, what you ignorantly call God. All right, his name is Yahweh, and who you call Jesus Christ. All right, his name is Yahweh Shai. All right, so we serve the true living power of Israel. All right, we want to give once again all honor and glory and praise unto Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, go ahead, Matthews.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 24, and it reads, "No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve Yahweh and Mammon."
God. So you cannot serve two masters. All right. For those of you who are unsure, all right, who the Most High is, Yahweh, and his son Yahweh Shai. All right, and you still call on that name, Jesus Christ. All right, you still call on that abomination. All right, his name, the name of the Most High is Yahweh. His son's name is Yahweh Shai. Okay, and you can't serve two masters. You can't be 1 foot in the world and 1 foot out of the world. All right, trying to be in the church, so-called. All right, leading on to be. I got to chase that bag. All right. I got to get this vaccine so I can keep my employment. All right. All this stuff, all these perilous times, all right, is coming upon us. It's coming upon this queendom, America. All right. God.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 15, and it reads, "I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou wert cold or hot. So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth."
God. So Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, said, I wish you not lukewarm. Either be cold or be hot. I'd rather you be cold. All right. But you 2/3 and you other heathen nations, all right, doesn't really apply to you. It only applies to the children of Israel. All right. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Seminole Indians, Haitians, Guatemalans, Puerto Ricans, Mexicans, Cubans, North American Indians, Seminole Indians, the Argentinians to Chile, the Colombians to Uruguay, and the Mexicans. All right, you are the true children of Israel. All right, you're the only people who the Most High, Yahweh, and his son Yahweh Shai care about. It is only that nation. Matter of fact, read that again.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 15. "I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou wert cold or hot. So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. Because thou sayest, I am rich and increase with goods and have need of nothing, and knowest not that thou art wretched and miserable and poor and blind and naked. I counsel thee to buy of me gold tried in the fire, that thou mayest be rich, and white raiment, that thou mayest be clothed, and that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear, and anoint thine eyes with eye salve, that thou mayest see."
God. So once again, it's only you, the children of Israel, that the Most High Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shai care about. All right. And you having 1 foot in the world and 1 foot out of the world, so-called, all right, to give praise. All right. And it's really only in your time of trouble. All right. But there's a trouble that's coming that you and the whole world hasn't ever seen before. All right, which is Jacob's trouble. Okay, because as you're hearing these rumors of war, all right, and these Salakia, these men in derision, all right, all these pestilence and everything coming, and all these pestilence that are here, all right. So you hear about all this stuff, and you're not even taking account to the time that we're in. All right. So Salakia, before, let's go ahead and get the children of Israel. Go ahead and pull Exodus right quick, and then we're gonna go back into that, just so they know who we're talking to exactly, so we can make this clear. All right. So the children of Israel made a covenant. They made a covenant with the Most High. Salakia, he made a covenant with us. All right. He made a covenant with us. He chose us to be his people. All right. And his people are you people who are on the sign. Go ahead and pull it. Exodus.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 1, and verse 1. Now these are the names of the children of Israel which came into Egypt. Every man in his household came with Jacob: Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, and Benjamin, Dan and Naphtali, Gad and Asher. And all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls, for Joseph was in Egypt already.
So all that were named, all right, you so-called, and pull the byword Slacker. You so-called Negroes, West Indians, Haitians, Dominicans, all right, you so-called Negroes would be the tribe of Judah. You so-called West Indians would be Benjamites, Salakia. You so-called Haitians would be Levi, Dominicans would be Simeon, Guatemalans to Panamanian would be Zebulon, Puerto Ricans would be Ephraim, Cubans would be Manasseh, North American Indians would be Gad, Seminole Indians would be Reuben, the Argentinians to Chile would be Naphtali, the Colombians to Uruguay would be Asher, and the Mexicans would be Issachar. All right? Those are your biblical nationalities. All right? And we are one nation. Okay? One nation. Go ahead and pull it.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 36. And it reads, the Lord shall bring thee. Slakia. This is book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and 36. The Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor the fathers have known, and there shalt thou serve other powers.
So that king that was set over us is this all these other heathen nations, but mainly Esau, Edom. All right, the so-called white man. All right, is the Edomites. All right, that is the kingdom that is over our nation, and because we disobeyed the law, statutes, and commandments. Salakia, start from the top again.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 36. The Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known. And there shalt thou serve other powers, wood and stone, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee.
So we're all bywords. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Mexicans, Cubans, Guatemalans, Puerto Ricans. All right, that's a byword. That's not who you are. That's not your biblical nationality. Okay? It is a byword. And the king set up over us once again is who? Esau, Edom. All right? And we came into this captivity through the Atlantic slave trade. That's how we got in this captivity, for disobeying the law, statutes, and commandments. Go ahead and pull Exodus 19. Go ahead, you can pull it as long as it relates.
All right, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 32. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 32, verse 24. And Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint. And he wrestled with him. And he said, let go, let me go, for the day breaketh. And he said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me. And he said unto him, what is thy name? And he said, Jacob. And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince hast thou power with the Most High, and with men hast prevailed.
God, so Jacob is our forefather, and Israel is his surname. All right? Israel is his surname. From his loins, as we read in Exodus chapter 1, verse 1 through 5. All right? This is the children. All right? Those are children out of his loins. All right? And our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right? Jacob being surname Israel. Okay? Go ahead. 1903. Start at 1903.
Look at Exodus chapter 19, verse 3. And it reads, And Moses went up unto Yahweh, and the Lord called unto him out of the mountain, saying, Thus shalt thou say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel.
All right. He said, to the house of Jacob. All right. Jacob and to the children of Israel. His surname was Israel. All right. So tell his children. Okay. Continue.
Verse 4, Ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bare you on eagle's wings, and brought you unto myself.
So Yahweh said, I bared you on eagle's wings and brought you unto myself. Myself, a possession. All right. That's a possessive term. He said, I brought you unto myself. He didn't bring you anywhere else. Continue.
Verse 5, Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people.
So Yahweh Bashem Yahushai said, Yahweh said, if you obey my voice indeed, you will be a peculiar treasure above all people. Not some people, all people. That means any other nation outside of this tribe. 12 tribes chart. If you're not of this 12 tribes, your father line doesn't go back to the 12 tribes chart. As you see right here, and as we went over, it's not about you. Yahweh Shem Yahushai is not dealing with you. All right? You are made in servitude of the nation of Israel for Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right? To do his work and to do his will is what we're here for. To make sure his laws, statutes, and commandments are preached throughout the four corners of the earth, and that this earth is ruled in righteousness. All right? It is a blessing, all right, that Yahweh Shem Yahushai seen fit to make any of us. All right? But he has a special people, a nation, and that nation is Israel, whether you like it, forbear it, or not. Continue.
Look at Exodus chapter 19, verse 5. Now therefore, if you will obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people.
Above all people. Not some people. Once again, all people. Continue.
For all the earth is mine.
All the earth belongs to who? Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, who you fools ignorantly call God and Jesus Christ. Go to 20. And this is Exodus chapter 20. All right. These are called the 10 commandments. All right. Even though we know that there's more than 10 commandments, but here's the 10 commandments usually that everybody's familiar with. And what's the header of the 10 commandments? What is it called? The 10 commandments of who? Israel. Matter of fact, I'll show you in the book. Slack it. I'll go ahead and, just for edification,
Exodus 30. Oh, right here.
Exodus
19 and...
No, 20. I'm just saying in the header of the book. Slakia. I'm just going to show them. Because you go to any, and just for edification, I'm going to go ahead and show you in the book right here. This is the King James Bible. All right. 10 commandments for Israel. All right. For Israel. It's not for anybody else. The covenants weren't given to anybody else. Matter of fact, pull Romans 9, 4, and 5. God.
All right, this is the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 1. And Yahweh spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord, thy power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other power before me.
God. Hey, so Yahweh Shem Shai said he brought us. He brought who? Israel. He brought Israel. That's why it's in the book of Exodus. All right, because he took us and we exit out of that land of Egypt. Who? Who did he bring? He brought the Israelites. All right, y'all seen the Prince of Egypt? I'm sure of it. Moses told Pharaoh, "Let my people go." All right. If you can't understand the Disney basics, all right, to your doctrine, your entertainment, okay, he was still there for the Israelites. All right, go ahead and pull that.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 4. Who are Israelites to whom pertaineth the adoption, and the glory, and the covenants, and the giving of the law, and the service of the Most High, and the promise.
Matter of fact, read that again. Speak a little bit louder so they can hear it again.
Who are Israelites to
Call
whom?
it out again.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 4. Who are Israelites to whom pertaineth the adoption, and the glory, and the covenants, and the giving of the law, and the service of the Most High, and the promises.
The promises, the glory, the covenant. Well, a covenant is what? Commandments. All right. All 613 commandments, including those 10. Not excluding those 10. Those 10 that everybody in the this world so-called knows or lives by. All right? So-called. Those belong to the Israelites.
This is verse 5. Whose are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Hamashiach came?
Wait a minute. Concerning the flesh, who? Hamashiach. Go ahead and put it in the words that are in the book. Good.
You want me to say?
Yep. Just for edification, so they know exactly who they said, who he came for. They sent in the flesh. In the flesh. He said in the flesh. Who did they read 4 and 5 again? Salakia.
All right. This is Romans 9 and 4. Who are Israelites to whom pertaineth the adoption, and the glory, and the covenants, and the giving of the law, and the service of God, and the promises?
All right. So who you ignorantly call God, Yahweh, the promises for Israel. Continue.
Verse 5. Whose are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Christ came?
Okay. So who are the fathers? The fathers, who the world ignorantly calls God or Jehovah. All right, so who belongs to him? That special people, as you heard in Exodus 19. All right, go ahead, read that.
Who is over all? God bless forever.
Start at 5 again.
Verse 5. Whose are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Christ came?
The flesh, that Christ, so-called Jesus Christ, who you say Jesus Christ. His name is Yahweh Shai. All right, his name is Yahweh Shai. Came in the flesh for who? For who? This is the book that's already, the book that you so-called follow. All right, the Bible, it tells you who he came for. Matthew's 1. Finish that up.
Who is over all, God bless forever. Amen.
So Matthew's chapter 1, verse 21.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 1, verse 21. And she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Yahweh Shai.
So hold on. Once again, his name is Yahweh Shai, but just so you can get an understanding, we're gonna push this just for a second. Go ahead and read it as it's written.
And she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Jesus, and for he shall save his people from their sins.
Okay, so even in your wayward doctrine, all right, with the deception that they put in this book with the letter J that didn't exist until 1524 is when it came about, when the letter came about. The book was written in Hebrew. All right, the book was written in Hebrew, so there was no J. How could his name be Jesus? And then when did it come in the alphabet? 1635?
1634.
1634. All right. So it took 100 years. It took 100 years for that letter to come in the alphabet. All right. 100 years. The original text of the Bible is written in Hebrew. Read it again from the top. Slakia.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 1, verse 21. And she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Jesus.
His name is not Jesus. It's Yahushai. Continue.
For he shall save his people from their sins.
Save his people. His people. His people. Well, let's go over to the next verse. Go over to chapter 2 and verses 5 through 6. Yes, 5 through 6.
This is Matthew chapter 2, verse 5. I'm gonna read out from verse 4. And when he gathered all the chief priests and scribes of the people together, he demanded of them where Christ should be born.
So where should a Mashiach, all right, where should he be born? All right, where should so-called Jesus Christ, who you ignorantly called Jesus Christ, his name is Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai.
Verse 5, and they said unto him, in Bethlehem of Judah, for thus it is written by the prophet.
Of Bethlehem in Judah. Well, who's Judah? You so-called Negroes. You so-called Negroes, tribe of Judah. All right? If your father's line goes back to any of these charts, all right, on this, any tribes, on this 12 tribes chart, you belong to the Most High, who the world calls Jehovah, God, Yah. His name is Yahweh. All right, you belong to him.
Verse 6, and thou Bethlehem in the land of Judah are not the least among the princes of Judah, for out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people Israel.
His people Israel. All right, whose people once again? Matter of fact, pull Romans once again. Romans chapter 9, verse 4 and 5. Then we're going to move on.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 4. Who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption, and the glory, and the covenants, and the giving of the law, and the service of the Most High, and the promises. Verse 5. Whose are the fathers, and of whom, as concerned the flesh, Hamashiach came, who is over all, the Most High, blessed forever. Amen.
All right. So Yahweh Shem Shai has a chosen people. That chosen people is the 12 tribes on this chart. All right. That is his people. None else. All right. You cannot be grafted in if your father's nation doesn't belong to this. All right. I don't care if you're the sweetest so-called white person. I don't care if you're the sweetest so-called Chinese person. All right. This is not me. This is the Bible saying this. All right. You were not chosen. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai did not choose you. He did not choose your nation. All right. Don't be mad at me. Be mad at the Most High if you want to, if you dare. All right. So let's get in. Matter of fact, you got something?
Yeah.
But go to Psalms. Psalms 2. Get on these nations real quick.
All right. This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 12, verse 2. Ye know that ye were Gentiles, carried away unto these dumb idols, even as ye were led.
God. So we were Gentiles, all right? Not knowing the law, statutes, and commandments, not knowing that if your father line, so-called Negroes, Latinos, West Seminole, Indians, Haitians, Cubans, Guatemalans, Puerto Ricans, all right? If your father line, Salakia, if you don't know, Salakia, your father's line goes back here, and you don't know this truth, that makes you a Gentile, all right? Because you don't know who you are.
Just for further edification, we look the word Gentile we go to the blue letter X on it.
Either way. All right. So Salaki, you Gentiles. Gentiles is simply for the nation of Israel. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, Haitians, Guatemalans, Puerto Ricans, Uruguay, Panamanian, you are the children of Israel. You are who the world calls God, Yahweh. You are his people. You are his sons and his daughters.
And Gentile is a person who does not acknowledge your power. Synonyms will be heathen, pagan, infidel.
All right, so you don't acknowledge because you didn't know. But Yahweh Bashim Yahushai has the brothers, the apostles, Salakia, the apostles of GMS, Apostle Tahar on down, all right, and the brothers doing the work, the fruit, all right, to bring it out, to give you this knowledge, all right, so that you understand that you belong to the Most High. Because the day is coming. It's not even, the day is coming, all right? Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is returning, whether you care to hear it, forbear it, or not. God. And let's go into you other nations right quick.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 2, verse 1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh, the Lord shall have them in derision.
God. Matter of fact, read it one more time. I wanted them to hear it all the way through.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 2, verse 1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing?
So why do these other nations imagine this vain thing? Why does Russia, China, all right, Iran, they all imagine this vain thing that they're going to be the next in power, all right, that they're going to take over and they're going to have this system and that the world is going to be ran by that nation, all right? Every nation has had a time period to rule. Why? Because Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is just and he's fair, all right? So he gave every nation a time to rule, all right? But that's over with. It's over.
Verse 2, the kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together.
God, so you kings of the earth, all right? You are Gettys, your DuPonts, all right? All you Rockefellers, Rothschilds, all right? All you top elite banking families, okay? All you top elite banking families are the kings of the earth, all right? And you take, read that again, Slot.
Verse 2, the kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying,
you take that counsel together and against his anointed, all right? The children of Israel are his anointed, all right? First and foremost, starting with the 144,000 elect men, and then the 1/3, which is the 144,000 is of that 1/3. But it's that governing body first and foremost, all right? That is the righteous rulership in the kings, all right?
Verse 3, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh, the Lord shall have them in derision.
So he should have us in derision. He's this way a dark place, all right? Not knowing who we are, not understanding, all right? Confusion, the water, all right? Have us out of our mind. And you Jakes, that 12 tribe chart, you Jakes are out of your mind, all right? Or out of your mind.
Right, because we following the wrong thing, or not us, but the 2/3 following the wrong people. They still serving that master.
God, serving that master, eating pork, shrimp, lobster, crab.
Just living in wickedness.
Yeah, you're just living in wickedness. Popping your so-called best friend's wife, girl. You know,
A man putting on a woman's clothing.
a man putting on a woman's clothing.
Vice versa.
This homosexuality out here, all right? being cool with multiple your woman having multiple partners, having we're in Vegas having what is it, swing parties and shit. Yeah, the green door and shit. So you doing all this wicked, abominable stuff, all right, and being cool with it. Letting your girl go out there and wear some booty shorts, all right, or being in the house and then having your homeboys over, and she wearing booty shorts and stuff and sitting there twerking in front of them and everything because her song came on, her jam came on. All right, man, that's wicked. That's wicked. All right, go to 83.
The book of Psalms, chapter 83,
Start at verse 3.
verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones.
Taking crafty counsel against thy people and against thy hidden ones. Who are the hidden ones? It would be us, Jake. We are hidden in the book of Deuteronomy that we read earlier. What was it? Slakia, Deuteronomy. The hidden ones. Man. Byword.
Byword is
And grab this
28 and 36.
28 and 36. And matter of fact, grab the hidden ones. Slakia. So those bywords that we became. He's gonna grab it. Go ahead and continue with it. Yeah. But hold that chart, but finish that. And then when you start getting to the tribes, then go ahead and pull that chart out.
All right, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 83, verse 4. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent, they are confederate against thee.
God, so that the name of Israel would be no more. So we wouldn't know who we are. All right, they were all these nations took a crafty counsel against us to stop us from knowing the true power, our power, the power of Israel, the power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. All right, that's what they did. Continue.
The tabernacles of Edom, the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarites, Jabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, and with the inhabitants of Tyre. Asher is also joined with them. They have holpen the children of Lot, Salah.
God. So all these heathen nations, go ahead and pull the chart. All these heathen nations, and we're going to give it to you in today's bywords, because you're a byword too, because, hey, Esau, Edom, so-called white man, had to make sure that he could cover this truth. All right, so he could cover us up and keep us in the dark. Go ahead.
The table of nations of Gentiles. White man is Edom. India is Elam. Assyria, Asher. Syria, Aram. Arabs, Ishmael. Chinese, Moab. Japanese, Ammon. Ethiopians, Cush. Egyptians, Mizraim. North Africa, Phut. South Africans, Canaan. Turkey, Gomer. Russian, Magog. Greek, Javan. German, Ashkenaz. Spanish, Tarshish. Cyprus, Kittim.
Oh. So all these other nations, all right, those are the heathen nations. All right. Yahweh Shem Yahushai has a nation, and that nation is Israel. All right. That is the nation. Slakia. Slakia. Pull John 16 and 33. St. John. Actually, hold that. When you get it, hold. All right. So you other nations, all right, are on one accord with Esau, Edom. All right. And being that you're on one accord, hey, you're going to get punished too. Why? Because Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is a just, righteous power. All right. He is our power. He is the power of Israel.
And as for those Amalekites who call themselves Jews, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee.
Khan. So Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai said, he will have not only them, but all other nations will worship at our feet. All right, because we are the glory of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. All right, and we are his mouthpiece. We are his servants. All right, everybody's in servitude. All right, everybody's in servitude. We as Israelite men are in servitude to the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. All right, we obey his law, statutes, and commandments. It is for us to obey the power and for us to make sure that we follow his orders. There's nobody else. It's not about anybody else. It's all about the Israelite man obeying the Most High. All right, the Israelite man obeys the Most High and then puts the woman in order as well. She follows her Lord, which is that Israelite man. All right, and all you other nations will fall underneath. You fall underneath the Israelites. Why? Because Yahweh Hashem Yahushai has said it that way. All right, there are speckled birds amongst all other nations. And a speckled bird is your father line goes back to this 12 tribes chart. Whether you be Negro, Latino, Native American, all right, these bywords, if your father's line goes back here, you can look like a so-called Chinese person, but if your father line goes back to a Negro, you belong to Israel. All right? You could be a so-called white man, but if your father's line goes back to a West Indian, all right, which is the tribe of Benjamin, you are an Israelite. So on and so forth. If your father is Mexican, all right, generations back, if that seed started with your father being Mexican, but you look like Ethiopian, you look like a Japanese, all right, guess what? You belong to the children of the Most High, who the world ignorantly calls God and Jesus Christ. Okay? He chose you, you sons and daughters of Israel. He chose you and you alone. You know, I know y'all know the Kendrick Lamar song where it has the Bible verse in it. All right, for you of the families of the earth, for you are only I have known. Matter of fact, pull that script. You got that? You got what you were looking for? No. But I thought you had another one.
No. No. This is the book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquity.
Khan, so you heard that, hold that too. You heard that. You heard it in Kendrick Lamar's song. All right? And you're like, wow, this is weird. Right? You're like, this is weird. That's a script out of the Bible. Read it one more time.
Book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O Israel, O children.
O Israel, children of Israel. Once again, it's all about those children. It's all about those children. Which children? Those Israelite children. That's the only children that it's about. That's the only children it's about. You so-called Mexicans, you so-called Puerto Ricans, Guatemalans, Haitians, Uruguay, Paraguay. It's about you. Haitians, Cubans, Uruguay, Panamanian, you. Continue.
Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family, which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth.
For you only have I known. You of all families of the earth. How many, look, how many people, how many families are on the earth currently right now? Billions. What is it, 7 billion? The last census, or 8 billion? That Bill Gates wants to, Do this population control him and his buddies? All right, to have 500, what is it, 500,000 or 500 million? All right, people on this earth. Only you. Go ahead and finish it. Slock it.
Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.
I will punish you for all your iniquities. All right, for you disobeying, for you not hearkening and seeking him. All right, he will punish you. Because why? You belong to him. Go ahead and pull the other one ahead. John.
This is the book of John, chapter 16. Book of St. John, chapter 16, verse 33. These things I have spoken unto you, that in me ye might have peace. In the world ye shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world.
Ron, how about Shimei Shai said, be of good cheer. Why? Because he overcame the world. All right? It's you once again. But be of good cheer. All right? Because we're about to come into some, as you've seen it already, starting some perilous times. All right? It's about to get real, realer than it already is. All right? You got something?
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 6. For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourgeth every son who he receiveth. If ye endure chastening, the Most High dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? But if ye be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons.
So, hey, if he didn't love you, he wouldn't chastise you. You remember when you used to get a whooping? You used to get a whooping, and your parents say, I'm doing this because I love you. And you used to be like, yeah, right. But in this case, and in that case, your parents did love you. All right, because they're trying to correct you. All right, because the world don't care about you. The world don't care about you. It don't care about your children. All right, yeah, how about Shimei Shai cares about you? You so-called Mexicans, you Haitians, Puerto Ricans, Guatemalans. All right, yeah, how about Shimei Shai loves you and nobody else, who the world English calls God and Jesus Christ. His name is Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. All right, he loves you. You belong to him, nobody else.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 4. Let's start at verse 4, verse 8. Ye have forgotten the everlasting power that brought you up, and ye have grieved Jerusalem that nursed you. For when she saw the wrath of Yahweh coming upon you, she said, Hearken, O ye that dwell about Sion, Yahweh brought up me great mourning. For I saw the captivity of my sons and daughters, which the everlasting brought upon them. With joy did I nourish them, but sent them away with weeping and mourning.
Gone. So Yahweh Shimei Shai said, you've forgotten. And we forgot why. One, because it was beaten out of us. It was beaten out of us because we disobeyed the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, who the world ignorantly calls God in Jesus Christ. All right? So what happened in the book of Deuteronomy, what is it, Deuteronomy chapter 9, verse, or chapter 12, verse 20, 24. Slovakia.
This is
Chapter 11, 26. Isaiah 1 and 3.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 1, verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib.
But the ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. So an animal, the ass. What is an ass? A donkey. All right. Jackass. A donkey knoweth his owner, and the ox his master's crib. What is an ox? Another animal. He knows where his master's house is, all right? Because that's where he eats. That's where he sleeps. That's who takes care of him. Start from the top again.
Isaiah chapter 1, verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel doeth not know. My people doeth not consider.
So you don't even consider. You don't consider, all right, that this book could be talking about you. You don't consider that the Most High has a people. All right? You don't even consider it, even though that the book already tells you that that he has a people. All right? But you don't consider because you don't read. So you don't know. Continue.
Verse 4. Ah, sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters, they have forsaken the Lord. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They are gone away backward.
Gone away backwards. All right? We provoked Yahweh Shemi Yahushua to anger. Hold that. Go ahead and pull that.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 11, verse 26. Behold, I set before you this day blessing and a curse. A blessing if ye obey the commandments of the Lord, your power, which I command you this day. And a curse if ye will not obey the commandments of the Lord, your power, but turn aside out of the way which I command you this day, to go after other gods which ye have not known.
All right, because we served other gods. All right, and being that we served other gods, hey, we got in trouble. Go ahead and start it over again.
This is Isaiah chapter 1, verse 3. Chapter 1, verse 4. Verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel doeth not know. My people doeth not consider.
All right, so you don't know, you don't consider. All right? Continue.
Verse 4. Ah, sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers.
Laden with iniquity. All right? Laden with no understanding, laden with evil doing, evil thoughts. All right? Continue.
They have forsaken the Lord. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They are gone away backward.
All right, we provoked him to anger because we disobeyed. We disobeyed that law, statutes, and commandments that were given to us. All right? You can drop that. You got one. All right. Let's go ahead and let's get to this RFID chip right quick and get into a little bit of destruction. We can close it out because we came a little bit late. All right, but next, first, hey, this is the time. Pocket. Hey, this is where we're at. And in Bible prophecy, this is where we're at. We're at that mark of the beast. All right. Even the so-called white man, you know, Asians, other nations, other heathen nations know where we're at. But you Jakes don't even understand. All right. And the mark of the beast is the micro RFID chip. All right. This is where we're at. That contact tracing. All right. All this wonders and wows in technology. All right. This is where we're at. Who's got it? I had another. All right, go ahead and pull that precept.
This is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices.
God. And we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. All right. And his devices being his witchcraft, his technology. All right. So much more stuff that this devil has. All right. You will. Hey, this world is ending. It's ending. It is on its way out. This queendom is done. All right, you can see it, you can feel it, you can smell it. This world is done. This is like the Matrix. All right, this is the Matrix, and Agent Smith, the stench of this world. All right, pull the previous sword. You got Revelation.
Yeah.
God.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 12. And he exerciseth all the powers of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them that dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed.
All right, that first beast. All right, you have these kingdoms pop up before the Roman Empire. All right, that right there was that beast. All right, it was wounded. All right, but he came back. Go ahead and drop down to 14.
Verse 14, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live.
All right, so that wound got wounded by a sword and did live. What are those images? The image of the beast. All right, first starting off with Caesar Borgia. All right, getting beaten into you, Christianity getting beaten into you. All right, beaten into you through the Atlantic slave trade, so on and so forth. Experiencing all this and having Stockholm syndrome. All right, so you having all that understanding that this was beat into you. All right, and then the miracles. All right, that technology. You have Elon Musk and his brain chip. All right, hey, repent, Israel. This brain trip, this neural link, all right, this micro RFID chip that you're starting to hear more and more about. They started it in your animals, all right, to be the guinea pig, and then they continued on and started implanting it in certain professions. You got to have this chip. Continue.
Verse 15, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
All right, so worshiping that image of the beast. How many of you Jakes out there worship this system, worship this technology? All right, you know, whether it be what is it called, biomechanics, whether it be biomechanics, yeah, robotics and stuff like that. Cybernetics. All right, you getting limbs and stuff like that for you amputees and everything like that. Prosthetics. And then you have, Salaki, you have all this technology. You want the latest and greatest, especially those Chinese. All right, definitely want the latest and greatest technology. All right, but you have all this stuff that you're so willing to go ahead and do and give up. All right, to be those people. All right, to have the newest iPhone. All right, this is just conditioning for you. Conditioning to have all this stuff. All right, the mark of the beast and the sword of Esau Edom is his technology. All right, that is his blessing. Go ahead, start it from the top again, Salaki.
13. Go. All right, this is book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 12.
No, Salaki, start 14.
Oh. Verse 14, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live.
Continue.
And he had the power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
And that image is speaking now. And guess what? If you don't worship that image of the beast, you're going to be killed. Continue.
And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
Hey, Neuralink, all right? This contact tracing, all right? No jab, no job for this vaccine, all right? These are what are they called? Precursors, all right? Precursors to that mark, all right? They're conditioning you once again, all right? They've been conditioning for many, many of years. Gradualism.
And now you got the green card out in, or green pass out in
Britain and Israel, all right, where those issues dwell.
If you don't take that vaccine, you can't go where you want to go.
Con, no jab, no job. That's what it's getting to. No jab, no job. You don't get that jab, you have no job. You have no job, you have no finances. You have no finances, you have no home. You have no home, you're on the street. You're on the street, guess what? I want a warm place to sleep. I don't have trust and faith in the Most High. I'm going to go ahead and go down to Egypt. Egypt being Esau, Edom. All right? Roughly paraphrasing scripture. Not Abaratazah, not us brothers, or you brothers and sisters watching it. All right? But you Jakes out there are going to go. All right? You're going to go down to Egypt. And you're going to take that jab. Go ahead and finish it off.
Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that hath the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666.
God, so you won't be able to go into a store, buy, you won't be able to sell anything on Craigslist, and you won't be able to trade anything. Why? Because you're gonna have people saying, "Oh, you don't have the vaccine. You don't have the vaccine. I can't mess with you. I can't mess with you." What is it? China that has that social system, social, what is it called? I forget it. So social. Basically, the system is like, if you're liked or not. Easiest way to say it. I can't think of the name right now. That whole app. If you're a good person, if you do good, if you obey the laws of the land, all right. They have this whole thing, this whole system set up where if you don't have a good standing, all right, guess what? You can't drive a car. You can't get on the bus. You can't buy anything. All right. Salakia, I don't remember exactly what it's called, but look it up. All right. If you're not given unto this image and worship the image of this beast, these other heathen nations, all right, that are on one accord with Esau, Edom, all right, because even though they have these proxy wars, so on and so forth, and even though they're at each other's necks in a way, they're still in one accord. They still don't like you, Jake. All right, they still here to rape, ravish, all right, your daughters, yourself, your wives, all right, to put you in derision, all right, to take you down, to kill you. You got something?
Yeah. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 118, verse 8. It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man. It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in princes. All nations compass me about, but in the name of the Lord will I destroy them.
God. Hey, you Jakes only care about one thing, all right? You care about one thing, and that one thing is worldly things, all right? You care about this world and the things in it. That's that one thing that you care about, all right? Go, Slovakia. I got it. Go ahead and pull. Sorry. I'm gonna hold this. You brothers gonna read. Slovakia, I got it. You can break it down a little bit lower. All right. You Jakes just don't care about anything outside of your own lust. All right, and that lust that you have for life. Okay. Go to Hebrews 8 and 8. And read through 8 through 10.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 8, verse 8. For finding fault with them, he saith, Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them out of the land by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith the Lord. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my laws into their mind, and I will write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a power, and they shall be to me a people.
So, how about Shimei Shai has good things coming for the nation of Israel? All right? He has good things coming for the nation of Israel. All right? But before Israel, we got to go through, before we get there, through those good things, we got to go through Jacob's trouble. Matter of fact, pull Jacob's trouble for me on. So we got to go through this time. And it's that time that has never been like before. All right? But got it? Am I in the light?
Am I in the light?
No, I'm saying, can you see?
Yeah, no, you're fine.
Okay. So, Lucky, I'll get back on it.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30, verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. For it, go to verse 8.
Go to verse 8.
For it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck, and will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him.
Hold that. Hold that and go. Where you at? Yeah.
Book of 2 Esdras, chapter 9, verse 1. He answered me then and said, Measure thou time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time, wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made.
And all these signs are starting to speak. What are all these signs that are coming? All these signs that you've been seeing the last 10 years. All right? The last 10 years, you've really been seeing these signs. What signs are you seeing? All right, if you're watching, continue.
Verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning.
All right, from the beginning. All right, he gave us these signs to watch for. When this world is ending and a new world is coming. All right?
For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, the end is manifest. Even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works, and endings and effects and signs. And every one that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by the faith whereby ye have believed shall be preserved from the said perils and shall see my salvation in my land.
All right, so all these things that are coming up, these earthquakes that you've been seeing, all right, these pestilence that you're seeing even more of, all right, and that was second Esdras 9. Yeah, that was 1 through 15. 1 through 8. Oh no, yeah, 1 through 8. Salakia. I was thinking a different one. Go ahead and pull that. I believe at the beginning. No. It's not 24 and 24. Start at 24 and 1 where it talks about the earthquakes and everything. And then drop down, read a couple of down, and then drop down to 24.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 1. And Yahushua went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple. And Yahushua said unto them, See ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another, that shall not be thrown down. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him.
Go ahead, keep reading.
The disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the signs of thy coming and of the end of the world? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many.
All right. So many should come in his name and try to deceive many. All right. Try to deceive many. But what is Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai doing? All right. He's speeding up the days. All right. If you literally look it up, all right, this world is speeding up. 2020, July 2020 was the fastest. They had the fastest day in July in 2020. All right. And they have to adjust the time clock. They have to adjust this time clock for this world because guess what? Yeah, how about Shemi Al-Shai speeding it up? Matter of fact, full 20 and 24 and 24 now.
This is Matthew 24 and 24.
Start at 23.
I'll start at 23. Verse 23. Then if any man shall say unto you, Lo, here is Hamashiach, or there, believe it not. For there shall arise false Hamashiachs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect.
All right. Will deceive the very elect. Why will they deceive the very elect? All right. They deceive the very elect if it were possible. Because this world is wicked. All right. How about Shemi Al-Shai said he will shorten the days. Okay. He will shorten the days. If you look it up, this world is being shortened. The days are getting shorter and shorter. Okay? Look it up for yourself. All right? But before all this goodness for the children of Israel, for all the glory and stuff that we see, that we'll see for the children of Israel, all right, we have to go through these things. We have to go through Jacob's trouble. All right? All these other nations got to fall. They have to fall. And we have to go through our trouble. All right? So as Jacob's trouble is popping off, all right, you got, look at Texas right now. You got people starting to break into people's house. They're defunding the police down there. All right? You got a outlandish power bills. How is somebody supposed to pay $15,000 for a power bill? All right? For a power bill. That's an unrighteous decree. They price gouging. You got inflation happening. All right? You got famine happening. People are starving out there. And you know what? Good for them. All right? If you did not hearken unto the word of Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai, then hell. You are in hell. And you're only going to see more and more. And it's going to get worse and worse and worse through the power and will of Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai. Through the power and will of Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai. It's going to get worse and worse for you. All right? Especially if you're a 2/3. Let it get worse and worse for you. Let it get worse and worse for you. Because you didn't hearken unto the words of Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai. All right? So, hey, let it keep on happening. All right? Let's go to Joel 3 and 10. But these things are going to happen first. Jacob's trouble, when all this stuff pops off, they implement that mark of the beast and everything, what's going to happen? Hey, World War III. World War III is going to be happening in the midst. You see these other countries gearing up right now. You got Iran and Iran enriching their uranium. All right, not letting the nuclear council or whatever in. All right, you got them and all these other nations, Russia and China. All right, and Iran practicing these war games together. All right, so you're getting and you're seeing all this stuff that America is about to suffer. All right, America is going to die by thermal nuclear fire, whether you believe it or not. All right, war, Yahweh Shem Shai is not a respecter of persons. All right, and he is a man of war, who the world ignorantly calls God and Jesus Christ. And war has no respect for who? Who does it kill? Everybody. All right, you go to Iraq, Iran, all right, you go to the Middle East, people have been losing their children forever. All right, bombing houses and everything. And America is the one who did it. Not the only one, but they're the chief nation who does it. All right? Come on.
This is the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 2. I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land.
Wait a minute. It's all about Israel again. All right? It's always about Israel. It's not about any other nation. All right? It's not about the Chinese, not about the so-called white people, not a so-called Ethiopian, not the so-called Japanese. All right? It's not about you. It's about the nation of Israel. Once again, this 12-tribe sign. All right? This sign is for you. Jenny.
Verse 3, and they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for a harlot, and so they grow for wine, that they might drink. Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head.
Con, so you other nations, you can't pay back Yahweh Shem Shai. All right, and you can't recompense anything righteous, because guess what you did? You were on one accord with the chief nation of Esau, Edom. All right? America. All right?
This is the book of Revelations, chapter 18, verse 5. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her, even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works.
Con, hey, America's going to get back double. America's getting back double what they gave to everybody else. All right? Feminism, America gave that to everybody. All right? Women being out of order, talking back to you, talking to you all crazy. All right? And you go to work for your family, but she's still wearing the pants in the family. All right? That's feminism. All right? It's an abomination unto Yahweh by Shem Shai. All right?
And the cup which she hath filled to her double.
Filled to her double. All right? Give her double. All right? So, as you have the children of Israel destroyed, all right, with our daughters and our children being disrespectful, talking back and doing what they want to do, your wives being harlots, all right, and having their own opinions, all right, on what you should do and telling you what you can do, all right, because she makes the money, because America made a woman more valuable than a man. But Yahweh Shem Shai ultimately, go ahead and pull that script. Woman sure so passive, man. Yahweh Shem Shai made it happen, all right? Because it is a shame for a woman to be over a man. All right? How's the weaker vessel going to be over the vessel that Yahweh chose? Yahweh Shem Yahushua chose. Yahweh chose to make man first. All right? Women come from men. Men don't come from women. All right?
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 31, verse 22. How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man.
Right. So a woman shall compass a man. All right. And that's not only, that's especially in our nation. All right. The nation of Israel, but that's all over. You're seeing it over here in the West all the time. All the time.
He said a new thing too, so it wasn't like that before.
Right. So it's brand new that your wives get up and talk to you crazy, even though it's been the last 60 years or so. All right. Get up, talk to you crazy, going, oh, we're having a girls trip. I'm gonna be gone for a week. I'm going to the club wearing spandex. All right. I'm wearing jeans just because I want to. All right. That's a apparel of a man. All right. Get in your dress. How about Shem Yahushua made you a woman for a reason? All right? Understand what you're made for. You had more on that? Time. Oh, and Joel. Yeah, we're still on there. Salak, I just got a little sidetracked. Got carried on with that.
All
right, here we go.
Oh, you got one?
Yeah.
Oh, you can go ahead and look at that because he's pulling up one.
Yes. Since First Corinthians.
Salak, Yakim. And Akwa.
All right. This is the book of First Corinthians, chapter 11, verse 8. I'll start at verse 7. Salakia. And it reads, for a man indeed ought not to cover his head, for as much he is the image of the glory of the Most High, but the woman is the glory of the man. For the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man.
Gone. The woman was created for the man. Matter of fact, read that again. Start to
Verse 8.
verse down from where you originally started.
Oh, verse 8. Oh. 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 8. For the man is not of the woman.
For the man is not of the woman. All right. Yes, we're brought forth through the womb. All right. We're brought forth through the womb. All right. Through the womb. But read it again.
For the man is not of the woman.
For the man is not of the woman.
But the woman of the man.
But the woman of the man. All right. So what was first, the chicken or the egg? The rooster was first. All right. The rooster was first. Then came the chicken and then came the egg. There's the answer to the question that all people ask.
Neither was the man created for the woman.
Neither was the man created for the woman. So when you get a woman, it's like, oh, you don't woman worship. All right. And that's what this world teaches. Oh, happy wife, happy life. All right. Which is an abomination. Happy wife, happy life. Unhappy man, a family doesn't stand a chance. All right. Right. I'm gonna put her on a pedestal, and it's a rite of passage. We've all went through it once before. All right. I'm speaking myself first and foremost. Look. All right. Go ahead. Continue.
But the woman for the man.
But the woman was made for the man. All right. Continue.
Verse 10. For this cause ought the woman to have power on her head because of the angels.
All right. And that's why women keep their head covered. It's supposed to keep their head covered. All right.
Nevertheless, neither is the man without the woman, neither the woman without the man in the Lord. For as the woman is of the man, even so is the man also by the woman, but all things of the Most High.
All right. because that's duality. All right, it's not. It's a hierarchy that Yahweh Bashim Yahushai set up righteously. He put the woman under the man. The woman is under the man, but nevertheless, the man needs the woman to bring forth children. All right, but she's still supposed to be in servitude unto him. All right, because all blessings come from Yahweh Bashim Yahushai dealing with the man, and then goes to the woman, and then goes to the children. All right, the universe has a hierarchy. The hierarchy is Yahweh. All right, he's the most high. Yahweh Shai is next. Yahweh Shai answers to Yahweh. All right, Israelite men answer to Yahweh Shai to speak to Yahweh. The woman speaks to her man, which is Yasharallah, all right, Israel, all right, the men of Israel, to relate to Yahweh Shai, so Yahweh Shai can relate to Yahweh. And the children relate to their mother to relate to the father relates to Yahweh Shai to Yahweh. Hierarchy. Right? But before we get it more into that, all that beautiful, beautiful stuff, let's get into the destruction. Why? Because destruction is coming to this land. All right? It's coming to spiritually Babylon and Egypt, Sodom and Gomorrah. All right? This place is going down with thermonuclear fire. All right? You're about to see some stuff out here. About to be stepping over dead bodies in the street. All right? The enemy's going to come in like a flood. All right? And that enemy being Esau, Edom. All right? So-called white America. Not even just America. All right? But for us, being in America, that's what we're dealing with. But America's everywhere. That whore is on all shores. All right? Embassies everywhere. That's why she's the whore. She gathers herself abroad. All right? She has freedom. Just like a woman when she has too much freedom. Roughly paraphrasing scripture. She becomes a whore. There you go.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51.
Ezekiel 38.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 6. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense.
This is the time of the Lord's vengeance. We're living, hey, when you when you see on the movies that crazy guy, we're living in the last days. This is that last day. And you think that guy is crazy, but he's really not crazy. All right? Hey, it always comes out in the movie when he says, we're living in the last day, we're living in the last day. That guy ends up what? He ends up being right in the movie. All right? What is it? 2012, Woody Harrelson. All right? Perfect example. Everybody thought he was bugged out and crazy. Lo and behold, what happened? Shit hit the fan. All right? The whole world. People dying of mass death in that movie. And this is just a depiction. All right? Go ahead. Slock it.
Verse 7.
Hey, Chicken Little, the sky is falling. The sky is falling. I haven't seen that movie in a long. Slock it. Squirrel.
Verse 7. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain. If so, be she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven.
God, so Yahweh Shimei Shai said, we would have healed Babylon, but she was too much of a whore. All right? She just kept on. Matter of fact, read that verse again, Slocky. The last two.
All right. This is verse 8. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain. If so, be she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even unto the skies.
God, for all the abomination that Babylon has did, this is spiritually Babylon, Sodom, Gomorrah, and Egypt. All right, all that this America, this whore has done. All right, all that is being done, its sins reached up to heaven. All right, go ahead and pull that.
Okay.
Come.
The book of Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 4, it reads, "And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, into thy jaws, and I will bring forth and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords, Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya, with them, all of them with shield and helmet."
Okay, hold. So all these other nations, all right, everybody's going to come down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, all right? All right, so it's going to come down into the valley, all these armies, all right? Everybody's going to send their armies for this third world war, all right? This thermal nuclear war, all right? Why do you think Iran is trying to obtain nuclear weapons? All right? Why do you think, America, all right, and Israel and their Confederate are trying to stop them from gaining that nuclear capability? All right? Because Iran, which is biblically Persia, all right, used to run the world at one point in time, and they know they ain't no joke. They know they don't care. All right?
So you got China creating the universal soldier.
God, you got China creating the universal soldier. Or what is it? Upgrade.
Right.
All right?
Also, the movie Bloodshot, too.
And Bloodshot, that's nothing but an upgrade. All right? That's old school graduate to show you that Esau deals with gradualism. You have universal soldier. Matter of fact, let's go farther back. You have the Bionic Man. All right? Bionic Man, universal soldier. All right? I'm giving sort of generations here. All right? Captain America. All right? That's it. Hey, Captain America. Matter of fact, he was American, Captain America. All right, that universal soldier. All right, you have Upgrade. All right, and you have China doing their thing that they're doing, and all this technology with these super suits and everything. All right, continue, Slaki.
Verse 6, Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarter, and all his bands, and many people with thee. By thou prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. After many days thou shalt be visited, in latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Israel.
So all those who were Confederate with Esau, Edom, all of you, once again, all you heathen nations that were in Confederate. Read that last verse again.
Verse 8, after many days thou shalt be visited. In the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Israel, which have been always waste. But it is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 15, verse 21. And I will deliver thee out of the hand of the wicked, and I will redeem thee out of the hand of the terrible.
Slocky, that didn't go. That's not what I was looking for. I wrote it wrong. Yeah, but all those Confederate nations, all those nations who were Confederate against the children of Israel, all right, including the 2/3, all right, because you got all this stuff about to come to pass, all this stuff about to happen, all right. It's going down, all right. Jeremiah, I think it's 50. Read that. Jeremiah 50. Yeah, read chapter 50. 50 and 14. Chapter 50, verse 14.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 14. Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about. All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her. Spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against the Lord. Shout against her round about. She hath given her hand. Her foundations are fallen. Her walls are thrown down, for it is the vengeance of the Lord. Take vengeance upon her, as she hath done, do unto her.
Hey, that's Yahweh by Shimei Shai telling us to pay unto her double. All right? Telling Yahweh Shai to make sure that you pay unto her double for what you have done to my children. All right? Done to my elect. All right? To the 1/3. Ultimately, the whole nation, but first and foremost of that 144,000 elect men of Israel. All right? In the 1/3.
This is the book of 2 Peter, chapter 3, verse 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with the fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up.
Hey, how about Shimei Shai said he should come as a thief in the night. All right? And he's going to melt this place with fervent heat. The very elements itself. What's hotter than thermonuclear fire? All right? The very essence of air catches on fire. The essence of air catches on fire. Air itself catches on fire. All right? Read it one more time. You can do the last verse.
Second Peter chapter 3, verse 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up.
Hey, everything in it shall be burnt up. Especially America. America is going to be wiped off the face of the earth. This is just going to be a memorial. All right? America is just going to be a memorial for desert creatures. All right? So, Abba Ratazal, we're those men. We fly over in the chariots or fly over by the will and power of Yahweh Shimei Shai, raising our standard to have us as who the world would call superheroes, X-Men. All right? As you see depicted in these movies, to have spiritual power, all right, to fly over this place, all right, this desert, all right.
You can call it the Justice League of Righteousness.
Yeah.
All right. This is the book of Revelations, chapter 17, verse 1. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither. I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters.
Wait a minute. Yeah, how about Shimei Shai said, read that part again, what you just read. Read that.
And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither. I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore.
The great whore
that sitteth upon many waters.
Sitteth upon many waters. Who sits upon many waters? Who has so many fucking embassies around the fucking world? It's America. You whore. You whore. You dirty whore. You are a slut. Continue. You whore. Nasty hoe. You's a nasty hoe.
Verse 2. With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication.
Fornication. You dirty ass hoe. All right. You have no loyalty. All right. America, it's funny. America wants everybody to be loyal to them, but this hoe isn't loyal to anybody. Why? You can't make a hoe a housewife. I know Jake know that. Yeah, God. 3-time losers. Yeah, you got everybody on. Look, you are such an unjust king. You're a 3-time loser. You put your own people in slavery. You didn't even allow them. All right. Ultimately, it wasn't you. But Yahweh Shem Yahushua gave your mind up, all right, to be fooled. All right. So his people will be out of captivity. And you didn't even keep us there the whole time. All right. You let us go so you could put the whole planet under slavery and bondage. Why? So you can make more gain and to have this currency, this dollar, all right, to get the fatness and to have all the riches of the earth, the real wealth, the oil, the gold, the rubies, all right? So you can heap it up for yourself, which it doesn't even belong to you, all right? But so you can live deliciously, to have the best land, all right? To have the highest high rises for you, all right? So you can live in your nest on high. So you can pretend that you are the most high, because ultimately you're a base fucking man. Your whole nation is base. You are the lowest of the low. It's not me, it's thus saith the Bible. All right? I'm just speaking the words that Yahweh Shem Yahushua has given unto his men, the prophets. Abaratazah, we be those men, and of that number.
Verse 2. With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication.
Yeah, because you let that woman gather abroad. So what that hoe did, that hoe got drunk, all right? And then she said, look, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to sleep and lay in bed with this one and this one and this one, all right? In retrospect, you put your embassies in every part of the world so they can drink of your Babylonian juice, so they could learn your philosophy, all right? For your daughter to be spread, all right, and to corrupt their daughters, to corrupt their daughters and sons, all right, to follow after them, to be disobedient, to talk back, all right? That's why you got a problem over there in the Middle East. Even more so, because they say hail to the no, because they stole our customs. Remember, everybody used to live by the customs of what? Israel once upon a time, but it's coming back.
Verse 3. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns.
7 heads and 10 horns.
And those 7 heads and 10 horns represent NATO and the European Union.
God. I think. Yep. Go on.
Verse 4. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stone and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness for her fornication.
Full of filthiness. That's this sodomy, all right? This allowing of these unrighteous decrees that a man can marry a man, a woman can marry a woman, you can marry a dog, a ferret, a cat, all right, a rat, eat abominable foods.
Sound like a Jerry Springer.
Yeah, this is one big ass Jerry Springer show. Jerry. You know, transsexuals, all right, that you create all this stuff. You're doing away with the birth certificate, all right? How you make a fucking transgender clothing, all right? I'm not a boy, I'm not a girl, I'm a neither. Well, I've never known that you could be born neither. A she, a she-shim, all right? It's a hermaphrodite. You know why? Yeah, how about Shimmy Al-Shai made you a hermaphrodite? All right? Because you're an abomination, all right? Hey, reincarnation, you didn't know what you wanted to be. You were so foul, he said, look, you're going to be both, all right? And that's ultimately Esau Edom, all right? They did that through their GMOs, all right? And all this stuff they put, chemicals they put in the food, all right? No nutrients, all right? You're not even eating food right now. What you think you're eating, what you think you're drinking, shit, the water, you can't even drink water, all right? Look over in, hey, you had before Texas, you had Flint, Michigan, them fucking up the water, all right? Texas, they got parasites. They can't even drink the water, all right?
Speaking of GMOs, who is the one that said about that synthetic beef or pork?
Hey, they got synthetic McDonald's chicken nuggets. Come and get a hot, crispy GMO McNugget. They don't really want to tell you, and they pass these unrighteous decrees so they can hide the shit that they're doing. All right? Whole Foods. Whole Foods isn't whole. You know? Look at what they sell and look at the labeling of stuff that they sell in there. That's why they have a bill, all right? America has a bill to hide their wickedness. All their fucking decrees are wicked. They hide what they're doing in Bill 103, 02, 04, 06 and put it and refer back to Bill 5013. And then refer back to the 5013C because it's a fucking business.
I got one more. This is Revelation 17:5. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great,
Yeah.
the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth.
Abominations of the earth. You damn right. America is an abomination of the earth. And that's why it will die in thermonuclear fire. This is not me saying this. This is thus saying the Bible. All right. Yahweh Shimei Al-Shai commanded us to come out here and let you know, especially you, Jake, but for all you other fucking nations, that you can perish. All right? That this land can perish. Because don't nobody give a shit about you. Nobody give a shit about you, Jake. All right? You want to be and continue to be a fucking heathen. Sorry.
Oh, and I saw the woman, verse 6, and I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahweh Shai. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration.
You, America, and the 2/3 and everything. All right, you kill the saints. All right, you did it before, and you will do it again. All right, you rape our women. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, Haitian. You belong to the Most High. You are the daughters of the living God. All right, repent. Come back. All right. Yahweh Shimei Al-Shai loves you. You don't care about nobody else. Fuck them all. All right?
This is Book of Job, chapter 21, verse 30. That the wicked is reserved to the day of destruction. They shall be brought forth to the day of wrath. Who shall declare his way to his face? And who shall repay him for what he hath done?
Fine. Matter of fact, read that again.
This Book of Job, chapter 21, verse 30. That the wicked is reserved to the day of destruction. They shall be brought forth to the day of wrath. Who shall declare his way to his face? And who shall repay him for what he who shall repay him what he hath done?
God, so we're declaring it to your face. Why? Because Yahweh Shimei Al-Shai commanded us to tell you to your face. All right? Boldly. All right? Hey, those who are roughly paraphrasing scripture, want to save their life, all right, if you're seeking to save your life, all right, you surely will die. All right, be willing to lose your life for Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Give up this world. This world passes away. All right, if this word is resonating with you and speaking unto you, all right, find a GMS camp or brothers who teach the same thing. That follow Apostle Tahar on down. All right, whether it be Men of Valor, all right, whether it be GMS or other groups that teach the same thing. If a brother's not in a group, but he adheres to the doctrine of GMS, then learn from that brother. All right, click on his page while you have time. All right, because a famine of the word is coming. Not even just the famine of bread, but the famine of the word. Right, where you won't be able to hear the words of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, where the men won't be out on the highways and byways. All right, this is deathly serious. All right, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is coming back. He is coming. All right, like that movie, the Mist. All right, the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The God of the Hebrews. It's coming. All right, and you have to pay. All these other fucking nations and these 2/3 will pay what they did to the children of Israel. Continue. Yeah, read second address. Colin. Start at 25. This ain't no game, Jake. This ain't no game. How about Shem Yahushai is serious. All right? What the world ignorantly calls UFOs. All right? You see these chariots, all right? You've been seeing things. All right? You don't think, you think it's a plane, but you know it's not a plane, fool. You clearly know it's not a plane. But you're so damn gullible, you let them tell you whatever they want to tell you. You don't want to research nothing.
6 and 25.
Come on, 25 go down to 26.
This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 6, verse 25. Whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape and see my salvation and the end of the world and the end of your world. And the men that are received shall see it, who have not tasted death from their birth, and the heart of the inhabitants shall be changed and turned into another meaning.
God, so we shall be changed. You know, Yahweh Shem Yahushai will change us. All right? Abaratza, we be of that number. All right? You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, Haitians, Guatemalans, Puerto Ricans, Mexicans. All right? You will be changed if you're of that elect number, of that 1/3. All right? Starting with the 144,000 elect men. All right? Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Hey, it's like what is that kid? Our cartoon Pokemon. I choose you. All right? Yahweh Shem Yahushai chose you, Israel. He didn't pick you because you were the greatest. All right? You were actually the least.
Pikachu.
Yeah. All right. Y'all got anything else? Give him the promise. Matter of fact, before we do that, before we pull the promise, pull up the internet. All right, and that's going to be Revelation. No, go to Isaiah 31. Get to the promises. We go to Psalms 19. Slovakia, go to Psalms 19.
Psalms 19.
Yeah. This is when Jake's come out. That football. Other James. Slovakia, other James. Oh. Jake's coming out at night. Go ahead, read that. 19 verse 1. Yeah.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 19, verse 1. The heavens declare the glory of the Most High, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge.
All right, so day unto day, you can click on these videos, night unto night. All right, you can adhere to the words and the doctrine of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, starting with the apostles of Great Millstone. All right, Apostle Tahar on down, and all the fruit that teaches the doctrine of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, the complete doctrine of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. You men, women, and children, all right, adhere to the word, all right, while you can, because there's going to be a time where, hey, you ain't going to be able to listen, all right? Like you're here laughing in the background, you ain't going to be laughing at that time. And there ain't going to be nothing funny, all right? Because shit going to be hitting the fan, all right? You're going to have to watch certain things. You're going to see your children die. You're going to see your wives die, your husbands die, all right? Eaten by a beast, all right? Dying from famine. And some of you people are going to even eat your those loved ones of yours, all right? Because that shit's coming back. Cannibalism, that's coming back. It ain't never went nowhere, because if you have, you know, other nations, you know, you still get down with that. Knowingly. Yeah, on the left-hand side. You do that abominable shit knowingly. On a daily.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 37, verse 2. For they shall soon be cut down like the grass, and wither as the green herb. Trust in the Lord and do good, so shalt thou dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed. 37.
37 and 32.
32.
Hey, but hey, read that again. That's the spirit. Read it again. But you will be cut down. All right? You 2/3 and all you other heathens, y'all be cut down. What you got?
Isaiah here. All right, this is the book of Isaiah.
Yeah, pull this.
37 and 2. For they shall.
37. You pull 37 2 again,
you want
right?
me to read that right again?
Huh?
You want me to read it again?
Yeah, I want you to read that again and then pull 32. God.
The book of Psalms, chapter 37, verse 2. For they shall soon be cut down like the grass, and wither as the green herb. Trust in the Lord and do good, so shalt thou dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed.
God. So all you other nations and you 2/3 are about to be cut down like the grass and the herb, and you're going to wither away. When you going to wither away? As that thermonuclear fire is burning your ass up. Or wither away as that as dying from famine. Wither away as from dying from a pestilence. All right? You're going to wither away. All right? That was a side note. Go ahead and go to 32.
Book of Psalms, chapter 37, verse 32. The wicked watcheth the righteous and seeketh to slay him.
God. Hey, the wicked is watching us right now. All right? They're watching us right now. Whether it be the wicked that are out among us, round about us, all right, back here, or whether it be right here on this camera, all right, this live stream, all right, or videos. They watch and seek us, all right, because they want to do us harm. All right, go ahead and pull what you had.
This is Isaiah chapter 24, verse 3. The land shall be utterly emptied and utterly spoiled, for the Lord hath spoken this word. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinances, broken the everlasting covenant.
God. So not only did we break the everlasting covenant, all right, these other nations broke their the Sabbath days and so on and so forth. These other nations knew. They actually knew what they had to do to flourish and to be nourished. All right. They didn't want the nourishment of the Israelites, of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, because the whole world, roughly paraphrasing, is going to rejoice when we're in rule under Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai. When the Israelites come back to rule, all right, starting with Yahweh Shai, King David in the 12, all right, Yahweh Shai, King David in the 12, all right, the world is going to rejoice.
This is Isaiah chapter 24, verse 10. The city of confusion is broken down.
This city, this is confusion, all right? This city, especially the city that we're in, Las Vegas, full of confusion, all right? New York's full of confusion. Hey, California is definitely full of confusion. San Francisco and everything, confusion, all right?
Every house is shut up that no man may come in. There is a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened.
Hey, there's a crying for both wines. There's a crying for the wine, which is referring to this word, all right? Crying for that and physical wine. Why? Because people want to get drunk, all right? They want to get drunk and try to drink away their problems, all right? And they're crying, all right, from everything that's going on. They're in that delusional state, all right? They drink because they think it's going to make them feel better. I'm going to drink all my problems away. You won't be able to drink destruction away. It'll still be there in the morning.
The mirth of the land is gone.
Hey, the happiness of this land is gone. You know, I watched a video, Salaki, I forgot the brother's name, who said it though, but who's going to happy hour? All right, ain't nobody talking about happy hour anymore. Woo, we're going to happy hour. Happy hour is dead. You call that dead hour. Call that depressing hour. All right, because you can't, if you can go to a bar, if you even can go to a bar, all right, because all this is failing. All right, this economy is about to crash. All right, that's where they're inflating this dollar. That's why they're trying to pass that $1.9 trillion stimulus. All right, they're crashing this economy.
Hey, when they shoot that money to you, what happens? The prices in the stores go
Come, and pretty soon they're gonna go up, and they ain't gonna come back down. You over in Texas, what is it? $18? Apostle Tar did a video. $18 for a bottle of water. What are you talking about? It's water. We shouldn't even have to pay for it anyway, but $18 on top of it, on fucking top of it, on top of it, there is a natural disaster. All right? People don't have food. You can at least give them water. Nope. Why? Because they don't give a shit about who? You especially, Jake. You especially. Don't care about their own people. How much more they care about you? All right? There's going to be a famine of the word. All right? And it's coming. All right? Where you're not going to be able to adhere and listen. Where's some? Thought you had Joshua 30. The promises. New covenant. Jeremiah. Having a brain fart right now.
Should I get Moab as my wash pot?
If you want, you can pull that out. Goes. Salakia. Got a couple more scripts and we're going to go ahead and close out.
Yeah. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 31, verse 31.
God, hold that. Salakia. Hold that. Hold that. Pull Isaiah. Pull Isaiah 10. 10 and 12.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 10, verse 12. Wherefore it shall come to pass that when the Lord hath performed his whole work upon Mount Zion and on Jerusalem, I will punish the fruit of the stout heart of the king of Assyria, and the glory of his high looks. For he saith, by the strength of my hand I have done it, and by my wisdom, for I am prudent. I have removed the bounds of the people, and have robbed their treasures, and I have put down the inhabitants like a valiant man. And my hand hath found as a nest the riches of the people, and as one gathereth eggs that are left, have I gathered all the earth, and there was none that moved the wing, or opened the mouth, or peeped.
God.
Verse 15, shall the axe boast itself against?
God. That's
Okay. Verse 15, shall the axe boast itself against him that heweth therewith, or shall the saw magnify itself against him that shaketh it, as if the rod should shake itself against them that lift it up, or as if the staff should lift up itself as if it were no wood.
God. It's Yahweh Shemi Shai who will lift us up. All right. It's Yahweh Shemi Shai who will make us that threshing tool, make us that axe. All right. To take down our enemies at his time. All right. Yahweh Shemi Shai has a promise for us. And that promise that is given to us is to who? The children of Israel and the children of Israel alone. Whether it be the Old Testament that you're reading in and the New Testament. All right. We are those children. All right. If your father line goes back to these so-called Negro, West Indian, Haitian, Dominican, Guatemalan to Panamanian, Puerto Rican, Cuban, North American Indian, Seminole Indian, the Argentinians to Chile, Colombian to Uruguay, and Mexican. All right. If that's your byword, your father's line goes back to that byword, and you're of the tribes of Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, Issachar. You belong to the Most High. All right? You. If your father's line goes back to that chart, you belong to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai.
Put that one, thou art my battle axe.
Go on. You can pull that.
This is Jeremiah 51 and 20. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. For with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy the kingdoms.
God. So Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is using his men. Abaratazah, we be of that number. All right? That we declare, all right, the judgment to the to both the heathens and the Gentile foreigners, all right? As well as the speckled bird, all right? That we declare the law, statutes, and commandments to the elect. It's only about the elect. It's only about that 1/3 right now. That's who it's for. That's who we're out here for. Abaratazah, once again, we be of that number. All right? We're not normally out here on this day, but hey, the Spirit jumped on us to get out here, so we got. All right, go ahead and pull that, and we'll go ahead and close out.
All right, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 31, verse 31. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which
not the old covenant. All right. He said he's going to create a new covenant for who? For Israel. All right. Not according to the covenant he made with our fathers, but he honored the covenant that he made with our fathers. But he's going to make a new covenant for us. All right. Continue.
To bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was a husband unto them, saith the Lord. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. After those days, saith the Lord, I will put my law in their inward parts and write it in their hearts, and will be their power, and they shall be my people.
Come on. He's going to put it in their inward parts. all right, in our hearts. Our hearts, if you look up that word heart, all right, the etymology, all right, is the mind, all right? If you look it up in the blue letter, it'll tell you the mind, all right? He's going to write it in our inward parts, in our mind, all right? To know, to understand, have all the understanding, laws, statutes, and commandments in the way that we are supposed to live and the judgment that we are supposed to set forth by his will, to do it as he wants to do it, because our ways are not his ways. All right?
Verse 34, and they shall teach no more every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord, for they shall all know me from the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith the Lord, for I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sin no more.
All right, so Yahweh Bashem Yahushai said, from the most wicked Israelite on the face of this planet of an existence will know my name and know that I am his power. From the greatest, from his son Yahweh Shai, will know that I am the power. All right, that's from the lowest to the greatest. Know that Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, all right, that Yahweh sent Yahweh Shai for his nation. All right. Our brothers got anything else? Anything else you want to say? All right. Hey, repent. All right. Come back to the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability. All right. And know that, hey, the hour days are speeding up, man. With that, we want to give all honor and glory and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to all the Akim out there teaching and preaching this truth with 144% sincerity, to the men, women, and children listening and learning, to the Bayashadabadat, the house of David. This is Men of Valor, Las Vegas camp. To the next time we say Shalom and a wall above.
Shalom.